welcome back to Medico Virally. Thank you very much for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed, do subscribe and ring the bell icon. In this video we are going to learn about the dyslipidemia and their drugs. You all know what is dyslipidemia? Yes, dys is an abnormal balance or imbalance of lipids in the blood. Emia is blood. So an abnormal levels of the lipid in the blood. How do you know that? When you take or when you ask your patient to get his or her lipid profile, and when you check the levels of the LDL and HDL, what happens is there is an increased levels of the LDL. Those patients who have the highest bad cholesterol or more bad cholesterol in their blood, in those patients in the lipid profile especially you observe the increased level of LDL and the good cholesterol is decreased. So as a doctor, what is your work right now? You have to decrease the LDL and increase the HDL. This is what you have to do as a doctor. So for that you have the hypolipidemic drugs. This terminology is written in most of the pharmacological textbooks, but it is wrong because the hypolipidemic tells that it decreases the bad cholesterol. Hypo, not in all situations we decrease the LDL. We also try to increase the good cholesterol, that is HDL. That is the reason the anti-dyslipidemics is the exact terminology used for the drugs that can treat the situation. Okay, so the anti-dyslipidemics are of four types: the statin group of drugs, fibrates, BABA, that means bile acid binding agents, and niacin. These are the four important group of drugs which are included under anti-dyslipidemics. Let us learn one by one. This is the liver. So in your liver we have the HMG-CoA. This is converted into mevalonate with an enzyme named as HMG-CoA reductase. So with this enzyme, the HMG-CoA converted into the mevalonate, and this is further converted into the cholesterol. Okay, this is the pathway, and this converted cholesterol or formed cholesterol goes into the blood, and after it reaches the blood, it stays in the blood. For example, if more of the cholesterol is synthesized or formed, what happens? More of the cholesterol is increased in the blood, which leads to hyperlipidemia. So the bad cholesterol has been increased. Then what you do? You first try to apply the first group of drugs, the statins. Where can you apply the statin group of drugs? The statin group of drugs can be applied exactly at the enzyme where it is acting. So the statins has the capacity of blocking the HMG-CoA enzyme reductase. So when this enzyme is blocked, there is no further formation or conversion of the cholesterol. That means there is no further cholesterol present in the blood, because as the liver synthesis of cholesterol is decreased, liver needs more cholesterol to produce steroids or other substances. Like when your cholesterol is not synthesized, what happens? The liver upregulates the LDL receptors, like it produces more of the LDL receptors. Thereby more of the cholesterol is uptaken back into the liver. So now ultimately what happened? There is a decreased serum cholesterol level. Am I right? So the statins came, it acted on the enzyme, it blocked the enzyme, cholesterol formation is decreased, and the liver itself upregulates the receptors to uptake the cholesterol from the blood, and in this way the cholesterol level in the blood is decreased. So this is the process of statins. The mechanism of action of statins is this. Let us know what are the name of the drugs which are included under the statins. These are the names like atorvastatin, rosuvastatin, pravastatin, etc. Simvastatin, lovastatin, fluvastatin, serivastatin, pitavastatin. But you have to remember, all the drugs which end with the name statin are not the anti-dyslipidemic drugs, because there is an exception here, like There are some non-antidyslipidemics. They also end in the statin name. They are the cilastatin, pentostatin, somatostatin. You know somatostatin is a hormone. Pentostatin is used as anti-cancer drug, and cilastatin, it is given with imipenem, so in combination. So these are not the exact statins which can block the enzyme. There are some other statins. So the exact statins or the actual statins have the name with VA. Vastatin or the exact actual statins. So the statins have maximum capacity to decrease the LDL. So maximum LDL lowering property is present with the statins. All these statins can be given at night times. So it can be given in the late evenings or in the night times. But the atorvastatin and rosuvastatin can be given at any time. The HMG-CoA enzyme is more present or increased during the night times. So when the enzyme is more in those times, if we give the statin group of the drugs, it can easily block the enzyme. But the atorvastatin and rosuvastatin are not dependent on time. It can be given at any time. Here we have to remember few important points about the statins. Like, we have the adverse effects that statins can cause myopathy. And also, along with the statins, even fibrates can cause myopathy. This is the most important adverse effects. For example, when you combine these statin group of drugs with CYP3A4 enzyme inhibitors, what happens? This enzyme blocks the metabolism of the statins. So these both are the CYP3A4 inhibitors. So when you combine these both drugs, unfortunately, you take both the atorvastatin and erythromycin, then the metabolism of the atorvastatin is inhibited. This enzyme inhibits. Thereby, the levels of the atorvastatin in the blood stays for a longer duration. That leads to higher risk of the myopathy. This is the simple mechanism. And the second adverse effect is the hepatotoxicity. Third important point is all these statins have the risk of causing the diabetes mellitus. These were the three adverse effects, like the myopathy, the hepatotoxicity, and the risk of diabetic mellitus. Here you see the rose, the beautiful rose. So the rose smell stays for a longer duration. Okay, in the same way, the rosuvastatin has longest acting property. Rosuvastatin is longest acting. And the other two here, the simvastatin and the lovastatin. Like Simva means, remember it is Simran, and lovastatin is love. So Simran is loving with her brain, not with heart. Why you have to remember this mnemonic is, the both simvastatin and the lovastatin has the maximum brain or CNS penetration, and these both drugs are the prodrugs. These are the special points regarding these both drugs. One important point about the pravastatin is all the statin group of drugs are given with meals because it increases their efficacy or action. But the pravastatin can be combined with meals or cannot be combined with meals. It can be given without meals also. So it is one important point about it. And the most other important point is the CYP3A4 inhibitors cannot block the metabolism of pravastatin. Due to this, this drug has very less drug interaction. Okay? Hope you are clear in this point. This was the important point about the pravastatin. And we learnt about the adverse effects, and also we have to know the beneficial effects or pleiotropic effects. So pleiotropy is nothing but the beneficial effects. Okay, so the first one, pleiotropic mnemonic, PL stands for the plaque stabilization, like atherosclerotic plaque. And it decreases the endothelial dysfunction, it decreases the inflammation, and they decreases the oxidative stress, and also they decrease the formation of thrombosis. So these are the beneficial effects of statin group of drugs. You can remember them with the mnemonic pleiotropic. Okay, so after we have done with the statin group of drugs, we are left with one small important point regarding the statins. What did I tell you? Like, you gave the statin group of drugs, the enzyme is blocked, there is less cholesterol. The liver has a secondary mechanism. By upregulating the LDL receptors, it has taken the cholesterol, and also the liver increases the enzyme that is present, or protein that is present in the intestines, Niemann-Pick like 1C1 protein, which has the property of absorbing the cholesterol. So it has the property of absorbing the cholesterol back into the liver. So this is the secondary mechanism which was done by the liver. So during this process, what happens? There is more of the cholesterol taken back into the liver. That's why we try to block even this protein. The drug used is ezetimibe. Ezetimibe, when blocks the Niemann-Pick like 1C1 protein, there is decreased absorption, and when there is decreased absorption, less of the cholesterol is reached into the liver. So when the ezetimibe and the statin group of drugs are combined, like statins are reducing the formation of cholesterol and ezetimibe is reducing the uptake of the cholesterol from the intestine. So in this way, when these both drugs are combined, there is an increased efficacy of both of the drugs. Okay, this was the important point you have to remember about the statins. And the next group of drugs is about the fibrates. You know, the fibrates have the most important property is they decrease the triglycerides. How do they decrease? They first activate or stimulate the PPAR alpha, that is peroxisome proliferated activated receptor alpha. So when this is activated, there is an increased action of lipoprotein lipase, and this breaks down the cholesterol into triglycerides. So there is a decreased amount of the triglycerides in the blood. These drugs end in the name of fibrate, that is clofibrate, fenofibrate, bezafibrate, gemfibrate. Out of these four, the gemfibrates has higher risk of causing the myopathy. This was all about the fibrates. And regarding the BABA, the bile acid binding agents. Before going into the details, we have to understand the enterohepatic cycle. From the bile duct, the bile acid is secreted here. This yellow particles are the food which you take. So when the bile comes here and it binds to your food particles. So this is the food particle, and the blue one is the bile acid which binds. So this binded bile acid comes into your blood, is absorbed into the blood. After it is being absorbed into the blood, what happens? The bile acid is separated and your absorbed food product is separated. So suppose your food product has cholesterol, high content of cholesterol. So the cholesterol is separated and the bile acid is separated. This bile acid is again taken back into the bile duct. So this is the cycle, like enterohepatic cycle. So how does the BABA act? Like the BABA, when you take, it comes into the GIT, and here the BABA binds over this. So the BABA takes the bile acid, and this is not absorbed again into the blood. This is gone into the intestine and it is excreted in feces. So here you have to remember, like the taxis which are present here, the taxi is the bile acid. So the bile acid is a taxi which is carrying the cholesterol to the blood, and there it leaves the cholesterol. The cholesterol is left at its destination point, and again the taxi, the bile, is again absorbed into the bile duct. So this taxi is kidnapped by the BABA, that is the drug with, when you take the BABA drugs, this taxi is taken and kidnapped and it is excreted into the feces. This is the enterohepatic cycle and how the BABA acts. The important drugs of the bile acid binding agents are cholestyramine, cholecystipol, cholesevalum. So it starts with chole. Chole is nothing but bile. The first two drugs, if you want to give or prescribe these drugs, you have to advise the patient, like take a glass of water and put these tablets in the glass of water overnight, and in the next day morning you drink those water, because these drugs cannot be taken directly per oral, and cholesevalum can be taken per oral. And we are left with niacin. Niacin has maximum increasing HDL property. It has a property that can increase the HDL. Up to now, the first three groups were decreasing the triglycerides or LDL bad cholesterol, but niacin is the only drug which is increasing the HDL. That is the reason we don't use the hypolipidemic terminology. That is why we use anti-dyslipidemic. Okay. The main side effects of the niacin is niacin produces prostaglandin D2, and that is why, see in the image how she is scratching her skin, like there is symptoms or adverse effects of flushing and itching. This is caused due to prostaglandin D2. That is the reason whenever you want to prescribe the niacin, we combine it with usually the aspirin or laropiprant. These both drugs block the prostaglandin D2 and these adverse effects can be prevented. Niacin is the cheapest drug available in the market and it can be prescribed, but the caution is these both side effects. Laropiprant, the word itself tells you like you can take it orally, O-R-A-L, and the PR tells you about prostaglandin. Ant is antagonist. So laropiprant is antagonist of the prostaglandin that can be taken per oral. Okay. And other important side effects about the niacin is it can increase the uric acid levels in the blood, hyperuricemia, and also increased liver toxicity, hepatotoxicity, and increased insulin resistance. Patients become resistant to insulin. So these are the three important side effects of niacin. This was all about the anti-dyslipidemics. In the next video, we are going to learn about the new drugs which are used to treat the dyslipidemia. Hope this video was clear. If you have any doubts, kindly do comment below. Thank you very much for watching. Do not forget to subscribe. Good luck.